So the first thing that I noticed, like he's just very confused and anxious. Sit. No. Come. Sit. Good. Come. Sit. Good. So go slowly, and you're the one leading the way. So you're the one leading the way. So think about where you're going first. Like, like don't just go walking. Don't just go walking randomly. You decide, take a turn to the right, take to the left. I want you to decide where you walk, but remember that you're the one leading the way so that he knows to follow you. And with the leash pressure, you don't have to do that much pressure. It's actually a lot less. Just sit right there, stop, and then sit. And remember, you do a lot of the pressure right away. Don't do it right away. So talk to him first. So, sit. And then if you need to, gentle pressure. You don't go immediately with the leash pup, because he's a very obedient dog, but he's very confused. So when you're doing the wrong things, it makes him more confused. So you gotta be very careful with, be very on point with him to make things very clear to him. Because that's what's gonna calm him down. He feels understood, and you guys are on the same page. All right, so walk towards me a little bit, and then you're gonna stop and ask him to sit. Right there. Sit. Good. So remember, see, you did the tag again. So you don't need to. Because you just don't need to do it at all. Look, he's very in tune with you right now. He's paying attention. So you can do that for the barking, but when he's already listening and you're doing that for no reason, it's confusing to him. Yeah. It's just a habit, because I know you're used to trying to get him to stop, but now you don't need to anymore. Just ask him first. If he doesn't do it, then that's okay to do a gentle little tug on the leash. So go ahead and walk away from me. Always call him first, give him a chance to listen. All right, turn towards me again. Yeah, come. And then you're gonna stop, calmly, don't pull. That's it, look at that. You don't have to tug on the leash. And then the more you do that, the better he's gonna get, because he knows exactly what he needs to do. Now, every time you tug, even though he just said, he's getting anxious. He's like, what else do you want from me? I'm already listening. I'm already paying attention to you. So that's why we got to be careful with that. Turn to the right, turn to the left, because those are all things that are teaching him to follow directions from you. Perfect. All right, and then go back to your chair now and see how he does. Even when you get there, just ask him to sit, but don't pull on the leash. Perfect. And then just sit there with him for a little bit. Now, if he's like mouthy, jumping, barking, you're going to use leash pressure to correct that, But that's called for when he does that. It's called for a leash correction. Otherwise, he don't want to do it.
Okay, so he was rescued at a beautiful Good Samaritan shelter because an abuser got a hold of him and put chemicals on his back. He almost died. They saved his life. And I was the foster. They called me through an LLC for Aussie Shepherds. So after 3 or 4 months, I fell in love, and he became mine. I adopted him. I just felt that he brought it all with him. He was very assertive toward my friends and family, and then he tends to take people's hands and pull it toward them if he likes you, and it hurts you. He jumps right up on you, no matter how small or large you are. Any dogs around, he'll start out friendly and then all of a sudden lunge. So I live in a community of dogs, other dogs in the gated community, so I had to repair that immediately. And he just doesn't have any manners, didn't. The barking is horrendous, yes. Not so much in the house, but when we're on walks. Even walking by people he loves, he has to talk and talk and talk and talk as we walk by. That has to stop. Pulling, but really scary when there's dogs around fenced areas across the street, next to us in the street. I often had to walk in the middle of the street just to get away from the pressure and running through, because he pulled and he barked and he made scenes. Yeah. Well, first of all, it has a lot to do with myself, and I'm thankful for the relationship we have, but I need to communicate clearly to Kai. He's already smart, he has the basics, but now he needs to know what to do, when to do it, and he's relying on me to do that. Thank you very much. Now I have a technique to do that.
So we got Ruby from AAWL here in Phoenix when she was about 3 months old. We got her because we had 3 dogs, and all of them but one had passed away, and the one was really kind of acting out from depression. So she was a great dog for that. But then as she got older, she actually was hard to walk, and I, in hindsight, probably think that the kind of collar I was using was probably more detrimental to helping her, and so we just kind of stopped walking with her, right, which caused more problems. So the main thing I wanted to understand is how do I get her under control so that she can go for walks, because she has a lot of energy to burn off of. And I think the big takeaway for me was not that I feared the prong collar, I didn't understand it, and so I thought actually using the more, what we'll call humane plastic prong collar actually was probably causing more problems than just getting the metal one. As soon as we put the metal one on and fit it to her and were able to give her slight corrections, I think her brain re-engaged and kind of understood, hey, hey, we're here to go do this together. And so that's the big thing for me, was that even though I thought I was being, cautious and good for her, using the more humane collar, I think in actuality it probably was hurting her throat and causing more pain and damage than necessary. So that's my big takeaway.
His name is Coda. I got him from the shelter. He was 2 years old, so now he's about 4.5. He was very friendly and everything at first, but as soon as we started bringing him home, and after about a week or so, he was just getting really aggressive with people, and he would be nice one minute and then switch on a dime the next. And I didn't really know exactly what was going on, so it kind of became where walking was such a struggle. Seeing other dogs and him just reacting to them and reacting to strangers, it made me kind of fearful to bring him around anyone. The reason why I came here is just, I know he needs a better life. He needs to be able to interact with his triggers, and I need to learn how to control them. And I think what I learned from here is just really being consistent and getting him around his triggers, but being able to control it. Learning the tools that we could use, such as the collar, I've heard about it, but I never knew how to use it, so I didn't want to use it the improper way. So you definitely teaching me how to use it, I think it would be super beneficial for him, and I'm excited to see where he goes. I'm excited.